Okay, welcome everybody. So 6.3, slope-intercept equation from a slope and a point, part 2. Okay, so continuing on, constructing linear functions. We learn how to write a linear function using slope-intercept form given a slope and a point by using the solve for b method. Okay, so let's do first one. So last time we did, given a slope and a point, we could use a graph to find the equation, right? So we're given our slope, which is right here, and we're given what the point is, right here, 5, -2, right? So we start at 5, -2, right here, and then we use our slope up to right 5, because remember our slope is rise over run. So your 2 over 5 is going to be rise to or up to, and then right 5, right? So rise to right 5. Okay, so we're gonna go up to right 5, but we're gonna run out of space, so we need to go the other way. So we go down 2, which is -2, and left 5, which is -5. That's 1 point. Then we go down 2 again, and then left 5. That's our second point, right? And we can draw a line. And then given that, we can tell what the y-intercept is, because the y-intercept crosses the y-axis right there, so our b is -4. So our b is -4. Our slope was given, right, because that was 2 over 5. So our equation, and we're always comparing this to y equals mx plus b. So we got y equals our slope, 2 over 5 next to the x, and our b is -4, so -4. And that's our equation. Okay, for number 2, we're going to start at our point again. So -3, 2 is right here. So -3, 2. And then we're going to use our slope, 24. 24 over 1. How do you do that? So up 24, right 1. We're going to go way off the graph. We can't fit the graph, right? So we need to find another method. We could estimate and add and find that, or we can use another method. So let's break it down and find out how can we use another method where we have like slopes or points that are not on our graph because the graph is too small, or decimals or anything like that. So there is an exact way to do it, and that's called the solve for b method. Okay, so let's break this down to see what we have from each one. So the first one, we're given a slope, right, which is 2 over 5, and we're given a point, 5, -2. The second one, we're also given our slope, 24, and we're given a point, -3, 2. So given those two things, we should be able to find what the equation is. And let's figure this out. So how do we do it? So let's compare. We're always comparing to a y equals mx plus b, right? So we're given a slope, which is the m, which is right there. And then what other values are we given that we can put in our equation? Right? So given a point is always x, y, right? So we're given an x value and we're given a y value that we can also put into our equation that will just leave us b. So let's substitute first. So our y is -2, so we're going to put -2 in for y. Our m, our slope, was given 2 over 5. Our x value was 5, right, from our ordered pair. And then our b, we don't know what b is, so we just leave it there. Okay, so now we're going to try solve for b. So we're going to multiply the fraction. Remember, when we're multiplying fractions, always over 1 and multiply across. Right, so 2 times 5 give us 10. 5 times 1, 5. And we bring everything down. And then 10 divided by 5 is 2 plus b. And then we can solve for b. So subtract 2 to both sides. And we get -4 equals b. We flip that around, b equals -4. So once we know our b is -4, we're already given the slope. So we can write it in y equals mx plus b form. So y equals our slope, 2/5 with the x, and our b is -4. And that's our equation. And if you look at it, it compares exactly what we had, either way. So you do by the graph or solve for b method, you should get the same answer. Okay, so let's try for the second one. Again, always compare y equals mx plus b. We're given the slope 24. We're given an x value. We're given a y value. So we're just going to substitute that into our equation and solve for b. So y is 2 equals our slope, which is 24. And then our x value is negative 3, right, from our ordered pair. And then we have plus 5. So 24 times negative 3 is going to be negative 72. Bring everything else down. Then we can add 72 to both sides. So it's 2 plus 72, 74 equals b, and flip that around, b equals 74. So given our equation, it's going to be y equals mx plus b. It's going to be y equals our slope, 24, next to x, and our b is positive 74. And that's our equation. Okay, so our b, right, our y-intercept is 74, because that's the end of our equation, our single value, and our slope was given 24, so our equation is y equals 24x plus 74. Okay, so that's called the solve for b method. So we're solving for b, given a slope and a point. So let's break this down into steps. Okay, the solve for b method, we're going to substitute the slope, m, and given the point, xy, into your equation y equals mx plus b, which is called the slope-intercept form. And then step 2, so we substitute our m and our b and our m and our point. And step 2, then use, we're going to solve for b. So in solving with inverse operations to solve for b, and then rewrite the slope-intercept form equation y equals mx plus b with the m and the b. Okay, so that's our steps. So let's try them out. So slope is 8, right? So we're given this slope, m equals 8. So we're given the x, which is 1, and we're given the y, which is 3. Okay, so let's write that in our equation. So I was comparing to y equals mx plus b. So we put in our y value, which was 3, our m value, which is 8, and our x value, which is 1, right? And then plus b at the end. And we can solve that. So 8 times 1, 8. Bring down the 3. Then we just subtract 8 to both sides to get rid of the 8 on the right side. So we get negative 5 equals b, or b equals negative 5. So our b is negative 5. Our slope was given 8. So our equation is going to be y equals 8x minus 5. Okay, number 4, same thing. We're given our slope, which is negative 2. We're given our x value, and we're given our y value. So we're going to put that into our slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b. So our y value is 5 equals our slope, which is negative 2. And we're going to put our x value in there, which is negative 4 plus b, and then calculate that out. So negative 2 times negative 4, positive 8. Bring it down. Then to solve, we subtract 8 to both sides. And we get negative 3 equals b, or b equals negative 3. So put negative 3 there. Our slope was given negative 2, so our equation will be y equals negative 2, because that's our slope next to x, and our b is negative 3. And that's how we got that. Okay, so 5 and 6. Let's go through those. Okay, again, so our slope is 3, and we have our xy values, so we're going to compare it to y equals mx plus b, substitute our values. So our y is negative 2, our slope is 3, our x value is negative 2, and we have plus b at the end. And we calculate that, so 3 times negative 2, negative 6. Bring everything down. Then we're going to solve, right? Add 6, do the opposite. We do it to both sides, so we get 4 equals b, or b equals 4. So our b is 4, our slope is given, which is 3. Our equation, y equals 3x plus 4. Okay, again, number 6, m equals negative 2/3. Through our point xy, we're going to use y equals mx plus b. So our y value is 9. Our slope is negative 2/3. Our x value was 6. And we're going to multiply this fraction. So remember, if it's a whole number, we put it over 1 and multiply across. So we get negative 2 times 6 is negative 12. 3 times 1 is 3. Bring it down. Negative 12 divided by 3 is negative 4. All right, then we're going to solve this. So add 4 to both sides. So we get 9 plus 4 is 13 equals b, or b equals 13. So b is 13. Our slope is negative 2/3. That was given. So our equation is y equals negative 2/3 x, and our y-intercept is positive 13. And that's our equation. Bam. And you can try the rest, go through those, and then when you get to the bottom, right, describe similarities and differences between the graphic method and the solve for b method. And then buying a car, let's break it down. So you're given, so $55 every 2 weeks, and you have 48 weeks, you have 2,800. You start saving for a car. Okay, so we're looking at it, we're given, so let's write that down. So $55 every 2 weeks. So we're given that. And then we're given 48 weeks is 2,800. So we just look at that, right? So $55 every 2 weeks, right? Every per. That's our rate of change, which is also our slope, right? So this is our slope. So our m is 55 over 2. That's our rate of change, 55 over 2, 55 every 2 weeks. And then we look at our ordered pair, which is 48, 2,800. Right? That's our data point. So we're given a slope and we're given a point. So we do the same thing, right? Given a slope and a point, we always can find the equation. We always can find the b, which is your initial value. Right? So it asks how much money did you start with? It's asking you what is your initial value or your y-intercept. And then once you find your equation, use that with 104 weeks in your equation to solve how much money you have.